Overall 7% effect 0 profile production. Next spot, the Sakura Forest Girls 3. So now we're gonna see how potentially Mika and Coco met. Goodness me, your dress is so fluffy, I cannot keep my hands off it. Okay, they definitely don't met like that. May I touch it? Miss Merchant, I can't resist soft things. Of course you may. It seems a bit too late to ask, given that you're doing what you're doing right now. You're rubbing your head against my chest. Oh yes, I was thinking with your fluffy dress. My body must have moved by itself. I do apologize. I hope I'm not being too forward. It's fine. Pretty girls like you can never be too forward. I happen to enjoy the attention. Now please rub your cheeks against my bosom to your heart's content. This is weird. Yes, ma'am. Is that how it happened? Definitely not. I wonder. Maybe I'm getting a bit carried away. I know Coco has a penchant for soft, fluffy things, but not even she would be driven to rub her cheek against the chest of a woman she'd not met before, surely. I wasn't privy to Mika and Coco's first meeting, so I really can't say. This is a conjecture on my part. Coco and I had been together for only a handful of weeks when I asked if she would accompany me on my travels. I felt somewhat guilty about parting her from the Princess Ray. I knew them to be good friends, but I was so fond of Coco I could not do without her. I am a selfish woman, you see, and when there is something I want, I will not hesitate to claim it. I suppose you know that firsthand, given how insistent I was about taking a few locks of Ayana's lovely hair. Mika smiles. I am insatiable. One must be if one wishes to be a merchant. I enjoy bartering and trading and acquiring my wares. It almost breaks my heart to sell my stock on, but sell it must. I must. That is how I make a living. I would never ever wish to hand Coco over to another, though. We are closer than I can communicate. She understands me like nobody else. You're not that hard to understand. Coco pokes Mika in the side. You said it yourself, you're selfish and you covet sparkly objects. You're like a magpie. That would be a fair assessment of my character. I'm easily distracted. But I promise I will constant when it comes to my feelings for you, my little coca bean. Mika. Coco doesn't scold Mika for her use of the epithet this time. Instead, she cites her cheeks flushed pink as Mika traces her cheeks with her fingers. Mika dips her head. I think she might be about to press a kiss to Coco's mouth when I interrupt them with a cough. I'm glad you two are so close, but you needn't show off. This is not the time nor the place. I have a question I would like to ask you. Yes, what's the matter, Maya? Now I know you have met Princess Ray. I presume you must also be familiar with Imala. What did you make of her? A priestess. Mika placed her hand beneath her chin and brow furrowed. There's a brief pause then. I must say I did not care for her. No? Not in the slightest. Did she do anything to earn your mistrust, or was she based on another one of your gut feelings? I don't believe she did anything wrong. She was always perfectly cordial whenever we spoke. But still I did not trust her. I could not bring myself to. I thought there was something unnerving behind her smile. I asked Coco to accompany me on my travels in part because I had fallen for her, but I was also concerned about her safety. I feared that the priestess may one day cause her harm, were she to remain by the princess' side. I did not want to wait around to see whether Imola was wicked or not, so I departed with Coco before things could go awry. Now I can see my famous instincts were once again correct. You said, Yaja, it was Imola who trapped you in the dungeon. Yes, she did. She took us prisoners so we couldn't leave the village. She meant for us to stay there forever to be her playthings. She said she did it for Air's sake, but I have my doubt. She was seriously messed up. She even set a bunch of slimes on us. That is most concerning. Mika frowns. You also said that it was Imola who summoned these wicked monsters in the first place. That's right, she came out and admitted it, and she sounded so proud of it. It was obvious she was enjoying herself while we were tied up. She gloated over us with this horrible expression on her face. She complete sadist, and she loves torturing cute girls. She's a menace. I grit my teeth together. I must have thought about Imola too much, because I feel really pissed. I have a mind to march back to Ares village to wipe that smug smile from Imola's face. But that mightn't be the best idea, not right now. Will we be able to best her? I think we will have to confront Imola at some point, knowing now what we do. If she is not defeated, she will continue to summon slimes, and she will cause untold chaos. Unfortunately, my size, that will have to wait for later. I hate to admit it, but Imola is very strong, perhaps as strong as I. Her powers as an individual cannot compare to mine, of course. But of course, Maya always has to get a big her gloating in. She wouldn't be Maya otherwise. But she can summon slimes whenever she pleases. That gives her quite the advantage. If we wish to expose her, we will first need to think of a plan. Until then, we should take this as an opportunity to rest. I don't know about you two, but I feel rather tired after all we have endured. I must be getting old. I'm not as spry as I used to be. I agree that we must do something about Imola sooner rather than later. I would feel awful if she attacked any more villages. But right now I can't even begin to think of how to stop her. I need some time to recuperate. Same here. I exhausted. I'm not surprised. It sounds like you three have endured all sorts of trials over the last few weeks. I take it that you need somewhere to stay while you contemplate your next move against Mala. That's right. We're so far away from home. Anna toys anxiously with her hair, her blue eyes half-lidded. I wonder where we can go to lay our heads. There are many tents in this village, but I would hate to impose upon the kindness of strangers. Don't worry about that. You can always stay with Coco and I if you know where else to go. Are you sure you wouldn't mind that? It's fine. I can hardly kick you out after hearing your story. Besides, it's not like you're strangers. We met before, and you're some of Coco's dearest friends. I bet she's desperate to talk to you, and Jaja, you must be a lot to catch up on. That's right. Coco nods emphatically, her fluffy blonde pigtails swaying. It must be fate that brought us together like this. Now we have been reunited, I could not content saying goodbye to you. I too wish to spend some more time with you, but Ayana continues to fiddle with her hair as she often does when she's nervous. I wonder if Coco remembered this tale of Ayana's. How much of her body language can she remember? We spent our childhood together, but 3 years have passed since last we met. That's longer than it seems. Memories can fade like grass bleached by the summer sunlight. People's minds aren't infallible. We forget things, and when we forget one another. It seems Ayana too forgot about how to interact with Coco because she looks at her feet, her expression in constraint and guilty. I would not want to impose. There's not much space in this tent. Where would we all sleep and what would we eat? Oh, don't worry so much. We'll figure everything out. Don't worry about your pretty little head about it, Ayana. I want you to stay here, as does Coco. There's no need to fret. Where there's a will, there's a way. And you know what they say, the more the merrier. Let's get along. I'm happy to go along with this arrangement. It looks like Maya and Ayana and I have landed our feet after this interesting encounter with Imola, though not literally. We were able to find Coco, and now we have a place to stay. That's quite a relief. It feels like a huge weight has been lifted from my shoulders. I'm looking forward to spending time with you, Coco. I flashed my childhood friend a toothy grin. It will be great to catch up with you. I agree. This is so incredible. Ayana blinks. I think the situation must have overwhelmed her because her blue eyes look suspiciously damp. I try to be optimistic, but you know how I am. I'm very there at heart. I was beginning to fear that I might never see you again, Coco. To run into you like this so unexpectedly. It really does feel like a dream. When I sniff of her shoulders shake. I'm so happy. Hey, Ayana, don't cry. You're making me feel like I've done something wrong. I'm not crying because you've done anything wrong, far from it. I'm crying because I'm so happy. I don't know what to do with myself. You silly thing. Coco smiles gently, then pulls Ayana into an embrace. They look pretty cozy like that, but there's something off about this touching reunion. Hey, don't you dare leave me out, guys. Well, we have seen that picture in the other Sakura Forest girls, so... Well, wait. Coco's dress is different, isn't it? Probably is, but let's continue reading because we've seen it before. I'll scoot over to a embracing couple, then throw my arms about Coco's waist. Now the three of us are together as we always used to be. This reunion didn't play out like I always imagined, but I'm glad things worked out in the end. Perhaps I should thank Imola when I next see her. If she hadn't locked us up in her dungeon, we might never have been able to unlock the mystic powers of that necklace, then we never would have found Coco. Imola did us a great favor, us to her. Though I could have done without the slimes. I can't help but shudder to think of them. They were so gross and sticky. Maybe I should have a bath later. That wouldn't go amiss. For now, however, Coco, oh Coco, it really is you. That's right, it is me. Who else would it be, silly Ayana? Now please stop crying. I'm sorry. I know I must look a perfect fool, but I really can't help it. I'm just so relieved. Sniff, hick. If you cry too much, your eyes are going to turn pink like a bunny's. Wouldn't that be kind of fitting? Ayana's pigtails do remind me of rabbit's ears. Oh yeah, you're right. Her nose is twitching too. Anna is so cute. She's adorable. No, I'm not. So stop teasing me, you two. I'm being serious here. Sniff, hick. I'm more than content to cling to Coco. It feels like I have to return 3 years in the past before slimes attacked and my life was comfortably ordinary. I not felt this happy in a long while. Shortly after our arrival to Mika's village, Coco sets about making a meal for us to shore up our strength. Ayana offers to help, but Coco waves her offers aside with a cheery, "No, don't trouble yourself. You endured so much you need to rest." Ayana, being Ayana, isn't content with Coco's reasoning. She tries to argue, but Coco's stubbornness overwhelms her. After some back and forth, Coco successfully convinces Ayana to wait. I play board games with her while Coco fusses over our meal. Soon the smell of rich and nourishing stew drifts through Mika's tent. It's so enticing it makes my mouth water. I didn't realize how hungry I was until Coco started cooking. When was the last time we ate? I think it must have been at the party of Aries, though. I'm not sure when that happened. My sense of time is all skewed, thanks to the suffering I endured at the Mola's hands. We were in prison last night, the night prior. I have no idea. Mika doesn't offer to help Coco. I get the feeling she's quite likes launching around, but she does the right to wind her arms about her partner's back. Hey, Coco, is the food ready yet? I'm starving. It'll be a little while yet. Can't you wait patiently? No, I can't. You should know that by now, my cute Coco Bean. I'm only too aware. Coco sighs. Please be reasonable. Cooking for 5 people takes longer than cooking for 2. I have more to prepare. Well, I usually cook about food for around 5 to 6 people, if not more, because I cook a lot of food, so I don't have to cook for several days. I mean, even just heating up my food a little bit is more than enough to make it tasty. Pestering me won't make me finish any quicker. If anything, you're only slowing me down. Boo. Mika pouts. You're so harsh, Coco. I thought you loved me. I do love you, though I don't love everything about you. You can be very annoying when you want to be. That's one of my special talents. Can't you get another talent? Mika pretends to ponder for a few moments, her arms still looped about Coco's waist before she grins. Nope. That figures. I don't know what I was expecting. Coco looks exhausted by Mika's antics, but I don't think she's genuinely annoyed. If she was, she wouldn't be smiling as she is. It's clear to look at them that Mika and Coco are very close. They seem to be utterly at ease with one another. It reminds me of the way Ajana and I used to be with Coco back when we lived together in the same village. I'm happy to see that Coco is alright, but... Jaja. Ayana peers me curiously from across the pico board. I don't know what pico is. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I reply after a small pause, forcing a smile. I don't want to make Ayana worry. I'm being silly, really. There's nothing for me to fret over, and yet... Now, are you going to unhand me or not? I think not. There's nothing I love more than hugging you, Coco. And I appreciate that, but you're getting in the way. Watching Coco and Mika bicker is making my heart hurt. I wonder why. I'm not jealous of my own friend, am I? I thought Coco would be glad to see Ayana and I again, but now I'm starting to wonder. Do we really need to be here? Would Coco have been happier without us? That's a depressing thought. Well, everything will come to be known after a while. Coco eventually finished preparing our meal with no help of Mika, and the 5 of us sits down to eat. Coco made us a vegetable stew which tastes every bit as delicious as it smells. It's very thick and creamy, and I can tell it's as I shut down that it's nutritious. I polish off my share of less than 5 minutes, then sits back sated. We talk for a while about inconsequential matters until the sun begins to set. Fatigue settles upon me like a shawl, and I find myself yawning. If I was prepared to sleep, we strip off the cumbersome clothes we wear during the day and curl up beneath our covers. Okay, just so YouTube doesn't miss, Coco is wearing clothes there, even though they're beige colored. I need to do that from time to time because YouTube is really on my ass about me making Sakura. I'm not gonna stop though. They can't really do anything because I'm technically allowed to shoot nudity as long as it's art also. Well, Eddie, that was all I have for Sakura Forest Girls 3 this time now, so hit like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye!